Okay, let's dive right in. For the past few years, whenever you've heard AI, you probably thought about chatbots, right? Or maybe image generators. But the huge story that just came out of CES 2026 is that AI has learned to move. We are officially stepping into the age of physical AI, and folks, it's about to kick off a whole new industrial revolution.
And I'm not just talking about another tech update here. What we're witnessing is a fundamental shift in the pace of change itself. It feels like history is hitting the fast-forward button, and the timeline for these massive shifts is shrinking like crazy.
You know, this quote from CEO Roland Busch just perfectly nails the vibe at CES. He said, "Steam took 60 years to rewire the world. Electricity did it in 30. The internet connected us in 15. Now AI is set to redefine our entire reality in a heartbeat, just 7 years." He's not just making a prediction, he's basically putting a stopwatch on the future. And that 7-year window, that's what we're going to unpack today.
And this just lays it out so clearly. Look at that pattern. Each massive technological wave took about half the time of the one before it to completely reshape our world. We went from 60 years for Steam down to just 7 for physical AI. This isn't a gradual evolution anymore. It's an all-out sprint.
Okay, so that's the timeline. That's the when. But what is this stuff really? Let's get to the core of it. What exactly is physical AI? Well, this is the moment where the AI brain we've all been talking to finally gets a body.
So, here's the crucial difference. Unlike a chatbot that just knows words and data, a physical AI gets the real world. It understands that if you let go of a box, gravity's going to make it fall. It can feel the friction when it pushes something across a floor. I mean, it's the difference between an AI that can describe how to build a chair and one that can actually pick up the tools and build it for you.
This table really makes the jump clear. The old robots you see in factories, they were just following a strict script. If this happens, then do that. And they needed everything to be perfect and controlled. Physical AI is a whole different beast. It uses neural reasoning, so it can adapt to messy, chaotic, real-world situations. It doesn't need weeks of coding for one task. It learns in seconds and can act as a general helper, not just a one-trick pony.
Okay, so who's actually building this future? At CES, we saw a few key players step up and basically lay out the blueprint for this whole revolution.
And NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, really kicked things off when he got on stage and declared that robotics has finally had its ChatGPT moment. And the engine behind it is their new supercomputer platform, Vera Rubin, which is, well, it's basically the industrial strength brainpower that this new world is going to run on.
And the numbers they're talking about are just staggering. First, a 5 times performance boost for what's called AI inference. Now, think of inference as a robot's reaction time. It's got instinct. If it sees a box falling, inference is the whole process of seeing it, figuring out where it's going, and deciding to catch it. Making that 5 times faster, that's a total game changer for working in the real world.
Second, the cost of that robotic thinking has dropped by 10 times. And this is huge. It means the price of giving a robot complex problem-solving abilities has just plummeted. It's taking advanced robotics from a billion-dollar science project and turning it into an affordable tool that factories and businesses everywhere can actually use.
And finally, this one. 22 terabytes per second of memory bandwidth. You know the old analogy of trying to drink from a fire hose with a tiny straw? That's kind of what older robots were up against with all the data in the real world. This upgrade is like giving them the fire hose itself, letting them process this flood of information from their eyes and sensors instantly, so they can react in real time with zero lag.
Now let's look at what Siemens is doing with all this power. Their strategy is so simple but so revolutionary: build twice. First, they build a perfect photoreal digital copy of a factory in what they call the industrial metaverse. They test everything, they fix every single bug, they optimize the entire process in the simulation, all before a single physical screw gets turned in the real world.
And believe me, this isn't just theory. PepsiCo's already doing it. By building their factories in the metaverse first, they found, get this, a staggering 90% of potential problems before the real construction even started. And the result? A 20% boost in how much they could produce. That's the power of taking all the risk out of the equation in the virtual world.
So, we have the brains from NVIDIA and the simulation tools from Siemens. Now let's get to the bodies. This is where a physical AI gets hands and feet and starts moving from the computer screen onto the factory floor, and yeah, even into your living room.
This is the one everyone was waiting for. The Boston Dynamics Atlas is no longer just a cool YouTube video.
This is the production-ready model. Hyundai announced it's going to be deployed in their Georgia plant by 2027. It can lift 110 pounds, it can work 24/7 with batteries you can just swap out, and it's designed to take on all those repetitive, back-breaking jobs right alongside human workers.
But listen, it's not all about giant factories. For years, one simple, annoying problem has stumped home robotics and frustrated pretty much everyone. But at CES 2026, we finally learned that the staircase gap has been closed.
So, meet the Roborock Ceros rover. It solves the problem with this absolutely brilliant wheel-leg architecture. It doesn't just clunk its way up the stairs, it actually balances on one leg while cleaning a step with the other. This is proof that physical AI is coming to solve the most tedious chores right inside our own homes.
So, with the brains, the simulation platforms, and now the bodies all falling into place, what does this all actually mean for us? Let's zoom out and look at the massive shifts and the really big questions this revolution is forcing us to ask.
You know, that comparison to electricity is just perfect, because physical AI is becoming a general-purpose utility. It's going to fill labor shortages and dangerous jobs. It's going to create this whole new simulate-first economy that just erases risk. And it's going to push sustainability by making every single motor in every factory way more energy efficient.
Of course, a transformation that happens this fast creates some serious friction. There are major hurdles we have to figure out. You've got the enormous amount of energy needed to power these AI brains, the absolutely critical need for safety certification. I mean, a software glitch can have real physical consequences now. And of course, the massive pivot that's going to be required from the workforce.
And this slide really gets to the heart of that workforce change. Human value is shifting. It's no longer going to be about doing the physical task, but about designing, managing, and optimizing a whole fleet of autonomous robots that do the tasks for you. The most valuable skill is becoming AI orchestration. You're the conductor of a robotic symphony.
Which brings us right back to our final question. The technology is here. The timeline is set. So when you look at a 7-year window for this level of change, a change that will transform everything from global manufacturing to the chores you do in your own home, does that prospect excite you or does it terrify you?